Time for me to tell you a tale of that time I had that little diner on the road to nowhere, and I was Dave, chef to the stars. One day, Carmen Electra came in and asked me to make her a meatloaf, and I said, okay. First thing I did is need 2 pounds of 80/20 ground chuck here in this mixing bowl, followed by 3 tablespoons of parsley. Then I added 2 eggs that were beaten. Followed by 1/3 of a cup of beef broth. Followed by 1/2 a cup of Italian breadcrumbs. Followed by 3 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. One of these days, I will learn to pronounce it correctly. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of ketchup. And then salt and pepper, of course. And then a teaspoon of garlic powder and a teaspoon of onion powder. Put the paddle attachment on my mixer, and we mix. Just mix it on a low speed till everything gets incorporated. Of course, you can do this by hand, but this is easier. Okay, then you want to take our meatloaf and put it in a meatloaf pan. Again, if you don't have a meatloaf pan, any loaf pan will do. I do recommend getting a meatloaf pan because it's kind of like 2 pans in one, and basically one, it's a lot easier to deal with the fat. You can find meatloaf pans on Amazon for like $15. So like I said, I really recommend getting one. They're fairly inexpensive. So then we're going to place this in a preheated 375 degree oven for 45 minutes. All right, let's get to work on the meatloaf glaze. All right, here's the glaze recipe. It is 2/3 of a cup of ketchup and 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. That's it. Then just grab a whisk and mix everything together. That's it. All right, set aside the glaze until the 45 minutes are up. Okay, the 45 minutes are up, and our meatloaf is sitting at about 140. So now it's time to add our glaze. And basically, I'm just going to use a little pastry brush here and just mop it on until it's a good amount's covered. And then I'm going to pop this back in, and you want to keep glazing and checking your meatloaf, and then pull it once it hits 160 degrees internally. And it took about another 20 minutes or so, but the meatloaf is done, and I'm basically going to let this rest for about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll be ready to serve. Alrighty, to serve, I'm going to cut off 3 pieces here. That's what I served Miss Electra. And, well, she absolutely devoured it. Why she felt the need to devour it completely naked with a banana stuck up her you-know-what, I haven't the foggiest. But that's the way it goes when you have the little cafe on the road to nowhere, and you're Dave, chef to the stars.